In this lesson, we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at suspense in our reading selection for this week, Eye of the Storm. Let's start by taking a look at what suspense actually is. The easy definition is that suspense is that edge of your seat feeling. It's when you are reading a book or watching a movie and you're at the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen next. The textbook definition of suspense is similar. It's the excitement or worry, so it might be a very positive feeling or it might kind of be a scary, more negative feeling that you feel when you are waiting to find out what has happened or what will happen. Sometimes we call it a real nail biter. We're in suspense. We can't wait to find out what's going to happen next. As authors create suspense, they follow what I'm going to call the path of suspense. And they start by describing the rising action, which is a chain of events that moves the action forward. And the suspense usually ends once it reaches the climax, which is the highest point of tension. We oftentimes call the climax the most exciting part. So if you were to look just at a drawing of what this rising action would look like, it would look something like this. Okay, we start off at the bottom, and the rising action, we keep getting higher and higher and higher. Tension is growing. It's getting more exciting. We're waiting to find out what happens. And then that most exciting part, the climax, is up at the very tippy top of our hill that we're climbing. So let's take a look at suspense within Eye of the Storm. So to look at rising action in this selection, let's take a look at the section Becoming a Storm Chaser, which is on pages 60 to 64 in your textbook. In this section, we have some rising action before Warren gets his photograph of the lightning bolt. So let's go ahead and track that rising action on this step diagram that you can see on your screen. And we'll start this together, and then you're actually going to finish it off as your assignment for the day. So let's take a look. Our first event in our rising action is going to be Warren reaching the underpass. Okay, so this starts off the building of the suspense. Okay, so he reaches the underpass. Next event is the lightning bolt that leaps from a cloud to a nearby spot. Okay, so our suspense, our tension is growing. We're going up our hill. Next we have that moment where he puts his hand into that tangle of cobwebs. So the angry black widow spiders would be the next event as our tension is growing. So we started with him wanting the picture, he's reaching the underpass, sees the lightning bolt, gets trapped in the spiders. Next, I want the next two events leading up to the most exciting part. And the exciting part that, of course, we're leading up to is Warren actually getting his lightning bolt photograph. So I've given you the first three events on our hill, okay, on our tension as it grows, our rising action. You need to give me the last two events before we hit that most exciting part, before we hit the climax of Warren getting his lightning bolt photograph. Again, you're going to submit those two events in your submission box for this assignment. As always, if you have questions, please make sure you contact your teacher.